So a few years ago, we launched this property in St. Louis, and within just a few months, our occupancy was sitting at right around 41%. And y'all, the price looked pretty good, the photos looked pretty good, but the bookings weren't coming in on this property. And I was prepared to do what most hosts do when this happens. And looking back, y'all, that would have made everything even worse. Because the actual problem, well, it wasn't where I was looking. And once I found it, bookings turned around in about a week or so. And so in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 things I checked in the actual order that I checked them until I figured out what was actually broken in this listing. So if your bookings have fallen below 50%, if you're wondering if it's time to cut your rates, or if you're staring at a calendar full of gaps right now, these 5 checks I'm about to share with you will save you from making some of the most costly mistakes we make as hosts. So let's go and dive right in with the first one. And y'all, the very first thing I do every time this happens is I read my own listing like a guest who's never seen it. That's because most hosts assume that their title, their photos, their description are really still doing what they were doing 6 months ago. Well, I can tell you they're not. And there are 3 things I want you to look at here. The first one is your title. And in your title, you have 50 characters. And y'all, I want you to use all 50 of those characters. And what I want you to do here is I want you to use the actual words that guests are searching for. So don't add words like cozy. Don't add words like charming or beautiful. I want you to add specific words like pet friendly, hot tub, king bed, walking distance, lake view, the specific things that matter in your market that you also have as part of your listing. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to focus on those first 5 photos because those are the things that show up in search. And ask yourself this question: is your hero shot the strongest room in your house? And you may not believe this, but for some listing, the first photo they upload is their front door, and that ends up being the first photo that shows on their listing on Airbnb. So instead, what I want you to do is make sure that first photo shows the best possible image, the best and strongest feature that will drive bookings to your property. Next, I want you to double check your listing description and specifically the opening line of that description. That is because most guests never get past those first 3 lines. And if you fix those first 3 lines in one afternoon, you will have already done more than most hosts have done all year. Now, here's the thing that's a little bit strange about the St. Louis property. When I actually did this check, everything looked fine. The title was strong, the photos was good, the description was clean. Nothing looked broken on the surface. And what this signaled to me is the problem was a bit deeper than what I was able to see at first glance. And so let's go there next. And in this next area, well, it may be an area that guests might have been telling you all along what was wrong. You just may not have been listening systematically. And before you say it, I'm not talking about one bad review. I'm talking about the patterns that exist when you look at your reviews in aggregate. So what I want you to do is open your last 20 reviews or whatever number of reviews that you have at the time of watching this video. And while you're doing that, I also want you to open your most recent guest messages. And as you're reviewing these, what you're looking for are moments of friction. And friction is really anything that a guest had to mention because it did not match their expectations. So things like, well, it's a little quieter than I thought, or louder than I thought, or farther from things that I came here to visit. And in a lot of our listings, we focus on family. So in our case, it might be something like it didn't include a high chair, or something like, hey, I was a little surprised it wasn't a coffee maker. And what you should know is these are not random comments. They're small mismatches between what guests came looking for and what they actually found in your property. And y'all, friction is important because friction always show up later as a lower booking rate. And these reviews matter because future guests are reading these before they book your property. And if you have 5 reviews that mention the same point of friction, well, you can expect that your bookings are going to fall as a result of this. So here's a tool that you can use to speed this up that may even be able to spot some of the patterns that you might miss by just looking at it with your bare eye. And you can paste your last 20 reviews and your most recent guest messages into ChatGPT and simply ask it to find the patterns for you. And the prompt I use sounds something like this. I'm an Airbnb host. Below are my last 20 reviews and my recent guest messages. Tell me 3 things. 1, what positive themes keep coming up? 2, what friction points keep coming up? And 3, what these reviews tell you about who's actually booking my property. Then give me 3 specific changes I should make to my listing as a result of this. And that last question question? Well, that question is one that matters most because when I ran this prompt on our St. Louis listing, the answer it gave us back wasn't what I expected. And I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. And what you need to know for now is that the reviews gave us some clues, but they didn't fully explain the 41% occupancy rate that we had on this property. And so we kept going. And the next thing we did is look at what I call the comp set. And what I want to encourage you to do here is to pull 3 properties from your market that are truly the most comparable to yours. And these should be 3 properties from the same neighborhood, similar size, and in a general similar price band. And you'll ask this one question: is the whole market down or is it just my property? Because if these 3 properties are also at a 41% occupancy rate, then yes, something has shifted in the market and the conversation also changes as a result of this. But in most of the audits I've conducted, the comps are usually doing just fine. And that was also certainly the case with the St. Louis property. So yeah, the properties that are most similar to ours, well, they were booking in our case. The market was not the problem. And this meant that the problem had to be somewhere inside of our listing. Now, this is the exact moment where most hosts make the most expensive mistake of this entire cycle. That is because if your comps are doing fine and you panic cut your price, you become the cheapest property in your comp set. And to make this a little bit more clear, this means that you will start attracting the guests that everyone else have filtered out or frankly rejected for that matter. And these guests are not just going to lower your revenue, they're going to leave you 3-star reviews and in the process tank your ranking, which means that this is going to put you in the cycle of needing to cut your price again to fill the gaps created by the one bad guest. And you may see what I mean by this because you're going to find yourself in not just having a slow month, you're going to find yourself in a negative spiral. And I call this the price cut spiral. And that's because one bad review can drag your performance down for 90 days or more. And when this happens, we're talking about thousands of dollars of revenue you can't get back this quarter. And I get it. This price cut's going to feel like you're in control. It's going to make you feel like you're taking action. But it's the most expensive thing you can do when this happens to your property. And y'all, if this kind of practical Airbnb diagnosis is helpful, I want you to consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. And every week I share videos like this that helps hosts build a peaceful and profitable Airbnb business without guessing, without chasing hacks, and without learning expensive lessons the hard way. So if this is the kind of host community that you want to be a part of, I'd love to have you here. Go ahead, like and subscribe. And for this next signal, I want to invite you to ask yourself, where is your property located? Now, let me show you what I mean using my St. Louis property. And we're in the Shaw neighborhood. Shaw sits right next to the Missouri Botanical Garden. Tower Grove Park is a short walk away. The Hill Italian Restaurant District is just down the road. Forest Park, the zoo, and the museum for that matter are also just a short drive away. But here's the trap that we actually fell into. So when we first set this property up, I was a little bit scared, not really of the competition, not of pricing. I was scared that if I narrowed who this listing was for, I would lose the booking. And so instead, I made the description really broad. It mentioned downtown. It mentioned the St. Louis Arch. It mentioned things that really sound impressive about St. Louis, but wasn't really directly next to where our property was located. And the result wasn't more bookings, it was the wrong bookings. And so guests arrived expecting downtown convenience, but got a quiet residential neighborhood next to the Botanical Garden. And this mismatch, well, it showed up in the reviews. And so what we did here is we rewrote the listing to be more direct about where the property was located. We led with real anchors like the garden, the park, the neighborhood feel. And in this case, the actual geography, the real anchors helped us answer this question. And in this next signal, well, this is where the St. Louis story really came together. Because when we launched this property, I assumed that the audience was going to be contract workers. We had other properties in St. Louis where that was actually the case. And so we set up this listing really the same way, the same kind of furniture, the same kind of messaging, based on the same assumptions. And it underperformed for months. And then we did the one thing that most hosts will skip. We actually read the reviews. I'm not talking about skimming the reviews. I'm talking about really reading the reviews. And as I said, we ran that ChatGPT prompt I mentioned in Signal 2. And what came back really stopped me in my track because it wasn't contract workers who were attracted to this property. It wasn't just groups. It was really families. Families were the ones who, across all of our reviews, were most attracted to this property. And specifically, it was families with young children, which is really an important point here, y'all. And if you're setting up your Airbnb or refreshing your Airbnb right now, I want to invite you to download the setup checklist. It tells you every single thing you need for your property. And frankly, y'all, some of the things that you could ignore because they don't impact your revenue or your review. And you can use the link down below to grab it. And so what I want you to know from what we found in the reviews is that we had actually been talking to the wrong audience from the day we launched this property. And so we changed everything. We added a high chair, a kids table, toys, children's books even. And we adjusted the first 5 photos to show a family layout. We rewrote the listing description to lead with families. We even changed our guest messaging for this property. And so the point I'm trying to make here, this entire property became family first. And when we did this, our bookings turned around in less than a week. And now the rating for this property sits at a really high 4.9. And so now you know the whole story. We weren't fixing a pricing problem. We weren't fixing a market problem. We were talking to the wrong people. And until we figured out who we were actually talking to, no amount of price cutting was going to save this listing. In fact, cutting the price would have made all the problems we were facing worse. And so here's the order again, the same 5 checks each and every single time. Read your listing like a stranger. Second, run your reviews and messages through ChatGPT and look for patterns. Third, check your comp set. Is it just your listing that's down or is it a market issue? Next, be direct about where your property is actually located and lead with real anchors, not broad, distracting anchors. Next, figure out who's actually booking your property and align your entire listing to that audience. And if you go through all 5 of these signals, you will find the real problem in your listing. And I can tell you this from running our own listing and really having audited over 100 listings in the past 12 months. And once you fix these things, usually within a week or so, you will start to see the turnaround. I'm not talking about a quarter. I'm not talking about a season, usually within just a week. And so what I want you to take from this video is that most hosts don't have a pricing problem. They have an identity problem. The wrong guests are seeing your listing, and that is not something that a price cut can fix. That's because you cannot discount your way into the right audience. You can only position your way into it. And once you understand who your listing is for, well, the next question is whether you're building around demand that lasts all year or demand that is seasonal. And I'm talking about a listing that depends on the weather, a listing that depends on festival, a listing that depends on whether or not tourists decide to show up to your market this quarter. And if your property is built around that kind of demand, you're going to keep hitting slow seasons no matter how well you know your guests. But there are 3 Airbnb niches that do not have this problem. And the hosts who constantly hit 85% occupancy month after month, they've built around an audiences who book regardless of the season. And I break down all 3 in this next video right here. So if you're trying to protect your cash flow, especially through the slow months, that is the one you need to watch, because when you pair what you've learned in this video with that one, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the other hosts in your market. I'm over there. See you in a few minutes.